तो in front of you, a very good evening to all of you. Late afternoon बोल सकते हैं, साथ में good evening बोल देते हैं. पहला लिंक थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन में हो गया, थोड़ा सा गड़बड़ हो गया. उसका रीजन ये था कि मैंने जब क्लासेस को सेट किया, when I arranged my class and I thought that I'll be teaching a long class today, तो I switched off camera. I thought the link has been created through the computer and the camera should be turned off. So I did it. So the link got troubled, but within 5 minutes we are back. It's a public live. Exam is almost there, so we are going to deal with some particular concepts which are directly connected to cultural studies and literary theory. Yes, the thumbnail you can see is culture study, but the booklet that I'm going to use, it is literary theory. Earlier, when culture studies were not introduced in UGC NET exam, these topics were studied under the theories. So we used to teach these concepts in the theory portion. Now these are directly connected to culture studies. I am taking it as a bridge between theory and culture studies. So all those who are watching, please take pen and paper because I'm going to complete some important chapters for you with some terms, some other references which is very important for your exam. तो आपके एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से सारी चीजें कवर होंगी. चलिए तो हम शुरू करते हैं. ऑलमोस्ट आप में से काफी स्टूडेंट्स आ चुके हैं. सो दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट लिट थ्योरी. ऑफलाइन बैच आपके पास ये प्रिंट आउट होगा. यू कैन यूज योर प्रिंट आउट. वी हैव गिवन यू दीज प्रिंट आउट्स. यूज इट सो दैट यू कैन मेक स्मॉल नोट्स ऑन दोज नोट्स ओनली. तो आपको थ्योरी का वो पोर्शन नोट्स में मिल चुका है. दोज हु वांट टू गो फॉर the offline batch, this is the address. You can save the address later also. This is the address. Now these are the concepts we are going to talk about. So I must tell you what are the concepts. See, primarily I will be talking about this theory, first these two theories, because this one is textual criticism. This one is a different thing. We will go for this maybe in my next class, right? Post-colonials we already have done. Existentialism we already have done in absurd theory, absurd literature. So we will cover these two theories, and the third one we have. The third one, we're going to talk about new historicism. The third one we are going to talk about new historicism. तो आज हम तीनों थ्योरी एक साथ करेंगे. We'll go for all these things. Apart from these, we already have done these theories, postmodern terminologies, keywords, ये हम कर चुके हैं. But once we are done with this thing, once we are done with this, we will be going for a proper study of existentialism, these two theories, and this one. We will be going for this one. So if you're watching it for the first time, you're here on my channel for the first time, don't forget to subscribe. Let's go and study. चलिए अब पढ़ाई पे चलते हैं. So we have to deal with the first theory, first one, the first concept which is connected to culture studies. Archetype mythology, archetype myths. This one is our first target today. So take your pen and paper so that you can underline these things. A form of criticism based largely on the works of C.S. Young. जी हाँ, इसे J नहीं बोलना है. When you pronounce it, you can call it like this. C.S. Young. This one, this pronunciation. Joseph Campbell and some other figures like Northrop Frye. What is the idea of archetypal criticism and myth criticism and how it is connected to culture studies? Now, let's start in an easy way. We talk about society and social structure. Literature is reflection of society. साहित्य क्या होता है? साहित्य समाज का दर्पण है. That you must have read, right? So literature is the mirror of society. Literature is just a reflection of society. It means literature and society are same thing. So when you understand the social structures, what do you understand in social structure? When you try to understand a society, you focus on the social practices, social adjustment and culture. तो आप ये देखते हो कि society कैसे बनती है. When you say, na, this is my society, how do you talk about society? Buildings, guards, parking, car, or society? Samaj. It can be any society. So what we do when we study society, we actually focus on some regular practices which becomes cultural practices. To understand cultural practices, Cultural practices are not based on science, not based on only on education, or cultural practices are not based on one factor. Multiple factors are involved. बहुत सारे factors होते हैं culture studies के अंदर. अब उनमें से एक important factor है your cultural understanding based on your historical understandings. जी हाँ दोस्तों, culture कैसे develop होता है? Historical practices, historical backgrounds, historical understandings, everything has a historical reference, and that's how they start giving meaning. Now see how. एक simple सी चीज पूछता हूं आपसे मैं. Many of us do not go for hair cutting, shaving on Tuesday. हमें से बहुत से लोग मंगलवार को दाढ़ी नहीं बनाते हैं. Why? Some of us do not cut the nails or chew the nails on Saturday. Some families do not use the soap, shampoo on Thursday. Tell me if you do this. चलो पहले तो ये बताओ. Let's get you involved. Tell me these kind of social practices, cultural practices. Do you do those things? ऐसा होता है क्या? बताओ. Tuesday को barber shop पे नहीं जाते या फिर नाखून नहीं खाते या something like this. Tell me. It's a live session. We have to understand this theory. Theory is not tough. It's easy. Yes, many of you have mentioned it. This happens. Now, I ask you a simple question, especially female crowd, female students, I ask you a simple question. Why night is taken in a bad sense? Night, raat. What is wrong in the night? Your brother is allowed to roam around. Your brother can go outside in the night. Your family members who are male, they can go explore the places, but the girls are not allowed. If a girl is roaming around in the street 10 o'clock, every person in the neighborhood will say, oh, this girl is a bad girl. Why? If you're traveling and roaming around in the street in the daytime, it's okay. But if you do this in the nighttime, it's bad. Why? Why the word night is taken in a bad sense? Andheri raat. Why all the ghosts come in the night only? Have you seen any horror movie where the ghost comes in the daytime? कभी कोई ऐसी हॉरर मूवी देखी है जो भूत है वो दिन में आता है? रात, night, nisha, nishachar. What they have done? They have gone for the concept called nishachar. What is nishachar? My Hindi is not that nisha. Check सकते हैं. सही है. I am a Hindi medium background. It's been many years. I have not written anything in Hindi. अब तो chat भी English में होने लगी तो chair got confused. Why? In Ramayan, the word Nisachar was used for devil. But if you break the word in structuralist reference, break the myth into mythemes. So in structuralist reference using the mytheme concept, if you break it, it is Nisha and Char. रात को चरने वाले यानी walk करने वाले. रात को people who are walking, who walk by the night, how it is connected to bad character? How it is connected to andhera? Andhera kayam rahe, darkness. Many of you must be thinking, sir, it is tough theory है. आप तो हंसी मजाक करके पढ़ा रहे हो. Tough नहीं है, आसान है. See, now let's find out historical understanding. Historical understanding is many years back, there was no light. So the wild animal used to attack the villagers in the night. A serpent, अंधेरे में सांप ने काट लिया. You are going to the jungle, forest in the night time. Tiger is waiting for you. You got killed. Gradually, people started getting scared of darkness. धीरे धीरे लोगों को डर लगने लगा अंधेरे से. Then mothers, to protect the children, they would say, no, don't go outside. It's night. Don't go outside. It's night. It passed on to generations. All the murders, kidnappings, revenge, it was all taken by the night. So people started getting scared of night. People started focusing on people who are walking by the night. वो लोग उनको घूरने लग जाते थे कि ऐसे कर रहा है. In short, Historically, now the word night, Nishachar word has a bad light. You cannot call your best friend Nishachar. या इमेजिन करो कोई बोलेगा माई फादर इज अ निशाचर. माई फादर इज अ निशाचर. हाँ, ही वर्क्स इन इंटरनेशनल कंपनी, सो ही हैज टू वर्क इन मिडनाइट. तो दिल्ली में, मुंबई में आधी रात में जो काम करते हैं वो निशाचर हैं, राक्षस हैं. पॉइंट इज these concepts are actually coming from historical cultural practices and they have become the part of it. Cultural practices के part हो गए हैं. Sometimes there are stupid cultural practices. You know the stupid cultural practices. In some weddings, when you get married, family members beat you with a stick. देखा होगा आपने, आपको स्टिक से पीटा जाता है. In some weddings in UP and Bihar, there is a heavy, kind of stone kind of thing which is used to, smash the spices. मसाला घिसने वाला, उसको पीछे फेंकना होता है. The bridegroom throws it back. Then sometimes, if you are sending somebody for exam, so you do thu. What are these things? Are these scientific things? No, these are just cultural practices which are in the history now. Now they have become the part. Now see, in archetypal criticism, it is myth. Question is, what is archetype? अब question आता है, what is archetype? तो archetype है क्या? Arc is something very old. Something old. And then type. Some old understanding, old messages which have become the part of life and now we take it seriously. Color black, color white, color red. And if you are going for some good function, good marriage function, birthday, puja, celebration, in Hinduism, you cannot sit in the puja wearing pure black. In Hinduism, you will not be allowed to enter in the temple if you are wearing pure black. How it is connected? How it is connected? Culturally, because the darkness, what is the color of darkness? Black. So black, darkness, black art, black magic, black evil life, it all got connected. That is become archetype. Now let's read for these people also because exam time session hai. So I will not be going to take 2 hours for this session only, but I'll explain it. First of all, Joseph Campbell, underline this man's name. This man is very important. Okay. Now he has talked about hero with his 1,000 faces. Important writers, देखो आपको कौन-कौन से important writers हैं. Robert Graves' famous book, White Goddess. It's very important work. तो एक आप याद कर सकते हैं. Plus he has talked about Greek mythology. So Robert Graves has studied Greek myth and White Goddess. Write down those names. Then this man, Joseph Campbell, Hero with 1,000 Faces. Name of the book? Hero with 1,000 Faces. Because we have the idealistic understanding of hero. Hero. What do you mean by the idea of hero? Remember, I taught you a play, J.M. Synge. J.M. Synge, Irish writer, wrote a famous book, Playboy of the Western World. Playboy of the Western World, Christy Mahan, a boy who hits his father with something, thinks his father is dead, runs away, goes to a new village. He tells everyone that I'm a hero. I killed my tyrant father. I killed my father because I cannot tolerate injustice. That boy is welcomed as a hero. Wow, you're a hero. Wow. 2 girls fall in love with him, Pizzin Mike and Widow Quinn. One day, his father comes to the same village, searching him. And the villagers say that boy is hero. You are villain. He said, no, I am not villain. And that boy is not hero. That boy is a lazy man. I was asking him to work. When I was about to punish him, he hit me and ran away. His heroic image falls because we are habitual of making people hero. The world needs hero. Have you ever understood about this thing idea? The idea. Who is a hero? Who is a hero? The concept of hero is being changed. All your modern Hollywood, Bollywood heroes are using guns, spreading violence, taking drugs, promoting nudity. They are involved in hundreds of affairs and we are calling them hero. आपकी सबसे favorite movie Dhoom 1, Dhoom 2, Dhoom 3, Race 1, Race 2, Race 3 तो अच्छी नहीं थी. Who are these heroes? They are basically thieves. They are basically chore. Just because Hrithik Roshan is a chore and is handsome, glamorous, that doesn't mean he's a hero. If the hero is looting a bank, or in race movie hero is doing all those bad things, it doesn't make it a hero. Hero concept got changed. What we have done, we have created the image of Superman. We have one never ending desire to be a Superman. We all have that. So they have understood, they have given us Superman, and our indirectly our desires are gratifying. जब हम सुपर हीरो देखते हैं ना, हमारी desires gratify होती है. छोटे बच्चे, they used to do this शक्तिमान, gratifying desires. The idea is they are talking about how the history has been shaped, how our cultural history, this is also called cultural poetics. This thing has been shaped. Then we have some other important people here. This man, then Maud Botkin, he talks about the references of poetry. G. Wilson Knight. These are important one. Most important जो है सबसे ज़्यादा C.S. Young, Northrop Frye. These two people are very important. So focus on these two people first. Now let's read this so that I make you understand more points. These critics view the genre and individual plot patterns of literature, including highly sophisticated and realistic works, as reoccurrences. इन्होंने बोला these are reoccurrences. ये जो है बार बार reappear होता है of certain archetypes and essential myths. ये जितना भी literature है, stories है, archetype myths है. How the archetype are created? The first one, if the hero is there, so hero is somebody who is a good man, good family, good, simple, humble background. Why it is needed? A hero can have a bad father, bad villain kind of father. Then hero fights against injustice. Why the hero has to fight against injustice? Why? How a hero becomes hero? Because everyone else will not become hero. Who fights against the bad man in the village? One man. Why 500 other villagers are scared? Remember Amrish Puri, Karan Arjun, कहाँ मर गए गांव वाले, लगता है सब ठाकुर के डर से मर गए हैं. Why 500 people are scared, one man is not? To create that hero myth. So technically, the great man, the Bharatiya Nari, Mother India concepts, they are just hybrid concepts created, reappearing created. Women known for sacrifices. So you watch 90% stories, women sacrifice. Why? How it is connected? So they are saying that these are some repeated images. Jung calls it primordial images. These first ever images, psychic residue, which is repeated. These are repeated types of experience in the lives of very ancient ancestors. ये repeated experiences हैं ancestors के, जो कि अब हमारे पास inherit हो गए हैं in the collective unconscious, जो कि हमारे पास inherit हो गए हैं collective unconscious में. So what is these kind of things? First ever image, first ever experience. So what are these first ever experiences? Primordial images. So please remember, primordial images or psychic residue are the first ever images. Let's make it easy. अब इसको आसान बनाते हैं. Some people, when they go for good work, they say, the cat has crossed my way. बिल्ली ने रास्ता काट दिया. I'll not go. How the cat coming across and crossing your way is connected to bad luck. So, have you ever read the Hindu newspaper? Prime Minister cancels Italy trip because Prime Minister's way was crossed by a cat. हाँ, पढ़ा कभी ऐसा Chief Minister ने मना कर दिया जाने से? But deep down they also connect, they also feel. Point is, in ancient time, one man, the old man of the village, people used to listen to him. He was more knowledgeable. He said, I was going today and a cat crossed my way. I fell down, I broke my leg. So what went wrong? That cat had black color, black cat. People listening to those stories. Now the cat lives in the same area. Another man, he found the cat crossing his way and he also felt that something wrong has happened to me. Today I fought with my wife. Today I have been expelled from my job. Today I could not earn well. They connected it to cat. Soon, those primordial images, these experiences, repeated experiences in the lives of ancient ancestors, which are inherited to our collective consciousness, they have been transferred. I also know that if a cat comes across, it can be dangerous. But how do I know? My parents taught me. How do my parents know? Their parents taught them. How do they know? Parents. It is being passed. So point is, the archetype images are nothing but primordial images. Now, we have a point to be noted. यहाँ पे आपको एक point देखना है. This point is important. When I was teaching, so one of my students came and said that this unconscious term is not coined by Young, C.A. Young. My dear friend, unconscious is not coined by him. Listen to the lecture again. I'm talking about collective unconscious. Inverted comma यहाँ से start हो रहा है. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes we should listen to the lecture seriously, right? हमें lecture सुनना चाहिए. I was teaching Ben Jonson in my class. I said Ben Jonson has written Tale of a Tub. One student stood up. Hello, sir. You are teaching wrong. Tale of a Tub is written by Jonathan Swift. Ben Jonson has also written it, 1633. Jonathan Swift will also write it 1704. So ऐसा नहीं है. The Vision of Judgment साउदी ने लिखा है, तो बायरन ने भी कुछ वैसा ही लिखा है भाई. So what you have to understand, I was not talking about unconscious, talking about collective unconscious. Now all the students who want to know who has coined the term unconscious, Frederick Schelling, German writer. But in English, the word unconscious first time was used by St. Coleridge. Point to be noted. First time जो word English में use हुआ है, he coined it in German language, Transcendentalist कोई magazine में. And that is not American Transcendental magazine. And St. Coleridge uses the word unconscious in English for the first time. Primordial images, this is the word by C.S. Young only. Psychic residues by same writer. Now, you have understood this idea? अब आगे चलते हैं. Now, these collective unconscious things are used as mythology. अब ये क्या होता है? ये human race में collectively unconscious आ रहा है. So, what is collective unconscious? Let's make it very easy. Collective unconscious कैसे आएगा? Who told you that if you do not pray before you go to exam, God will be angry? Like I also normally don't pray. But if I am scared and I have to wait for something good, I pray. And I tell my God that God, you know I come when I need something. You know, I am selfish. कितने लोग डर के मारे पूजा करते हैं? How many of you become more religious when the exams are there? बताओ. किसी ने लिखा है कि तुम सब कुछ छोड़ के पढ़ाने में लग गए. इसलिए सही लोग आते नहीं है हेल्प करने किसी की. आपकी लड़ाई है, आपके लिए लड़ रहे थे, लेकिन कोई बात नहीं. और हो सकता है ये पेपर 1 लीक वाला QR कोड वाला बंदा हो. चलो जी, सेम चीज. So we get religious. How do we know that we have to pray the gods? How? I also asked my mother that if on Thursday I use a soap or a shampoo, tell me which god is particularly going to be annoyed. Then she says, do you talk to your elders like this? Point is, just accept it. So collective unconscious means just accept it. So you have accepted it. There are so many things you are accepting it. For example, now you naturally don't want to go to the barber shop on Tuesday. Now you naturally don't want to go to the barber shop because you feel like that what if something goes wrong? So yeah, I don't believe in these things, but if I have to go to barber shop on Tuesday, I avoid. Technically, this is fixed in my brain. Unconscious mind में आ गया है धीरे धीरे. Night is bad. We are reading newspaper, accident happened night, molestation happened night, something happened night. Unconsciously, we are collecting that information in our brain and then it starts hampering our behavior. Our cultural practices are based on these things. तो ये हमारी cultural practices हैं जो archetype पे based हैं. See, इन्होंने mention भी किया what I'm saying. Mythologies में है, religion में है, dreams में है. When you see the snakes in your dream, you see a lizard in your dream, you see death, sometimes you see your own death. These are the part of psychology. So they relate it that okay, if religion has some reference, like why the black dress you can't wear in the temple. Mythology is simple mythology. If I'm taking rest, my father will come and say, no, you don't have to place your head to south or place your leg to south. But this is the part of mythology. Then private fantasies. So private fantasies also, which are individual things, that you have some fantasy with a color, you have some fantasy with some kind of particular object or something like that. Then these things are mentioned in the works of literature. Now what you have to understand, how these things are mentioned in literature. Why P.B. Shelley said, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? Why he was talking about happiness, sadness, good time, bad time. If he was talking about good time, bad time, happiness, sadness, why he said that if winter comes, can spring be far behind? Why he talks about the seasons? Because these seasons are the part of literature. Water has mythological thing. Ganga Ma, Ganga Jal. If you want to sell water, just call it Ganga Jal. People will buy. We take Ganga Jal very seriously. Then sun, enlightenment, knowledge, moon. In Christian community, Wolverines, zombies, moons, Chanda Mama, Vrat, fast, colors, you all know the colors, circles, religious circles, great mother concept that mother is always great. We have believed in this thing that mother is always great. Why? Because we are imposing the qualities. Then wise old man. Why? It's a concept, a cliche concept that old man is always wise. जरूरी नहीं है कि old man हमेशा wise हो. मैंने बहुत सारे लोगों को देखा है जो उतने समझदार नहीं है, राइट? जैसे अभी जिसके लिए मैं लड़ाई लड़ रहा हूं वही मुझे कह रहा है हार गए ना. अरे मैं क्वालिफाइड हूं, टैक्स भरता हूं भाई, जितनी तेरी सैलरी नहीं उतना टैक्स भरता हूं. तेरे लिए लड़ रहा था यार. ठीक, सी, सो वाइज ओल्ड मैन कॉन्सेप्ट भी नहीं होता. नाउ सी, in terms of archetypal criticism, the color white stands for innocence. So they have given the reference. Color, black color, threat, red color, green color, white color. आजकल की पॉलिटिक्स में भी आप देख रहे हो कलर इश्यूज बहुत चलते हैं. So the same concept is that in literature we have various references. Sun is not just a sun. Sun is a god. You give अर्घ. आप सुबह सुबह पानी देते ना सूरज भगवान को. In many religions you have seen that people when they take bath, they get some fresh water, they go to the sun and then they do it. अभी गर्मी बहुत है, 48 डिग्री चल रहा है, तो अगर आप धूप में से पानी डालोगे तो खुद पे भी डालना पड़ेगा. But sun is God. Then moon, color, circles, all these things. Now let's go for the terminology. अब terms पे चलते हैं. In between जिसको questions answers करने हैं, कुछ मन में कुलबुला आ रहा है तो होल्ड कर लो. लेट मी कंप्लीट. आई ऑल्सो नो यूर राइटिंग कमेंट्स. आई टेक योर कमेंट्स, राइट? और अभी आज एक मैम भी आने वाले हैं हमारे साथ, अलका पांडे मैम आएंगे. हम लोग एक लाइव कॉन्फ्रेंस करने की कोशिश करेंगे, तो बी विद अस. चलिए, नाउ वी हैव सम टर्मिनोलॉजी, सो प्लीज चेक द टर्मिनोलॉजीज. एनिमा, इट्स जस्ट द फेमिनिन एस्पेक्ट. ऑल यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, इस टर्म को याद करने के लिए सिर्फ इतना याद रखना, द इनर फेमिनाइन पार्ट ऑफ द मेल पर्सनैलिटी or man's image of a woman. See, earlier the concept of man and woman were dedicatedly defined easily. Man is for the sword, woman is for the needle. Man is to explore, women for the hearth. Man is to command, women is to obey, and all else is confusion. But now they study this concept. Man, what is the difference between man, then cisgender man? Have you heard about this thing? Cisgender. So जो बच्चे पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं सीरियसली, cisgender term पे ध्यान दो. Cisgender thing. Now A person who is born as a man, a male, feels like a woman. A woman who is born as a woman feels like a man. So in current day scenario, presently, we are studying LGBT, so we know that okay, even sexuality, it can be questioned by an individual. Biological sexual identity and psychological sexual identities are two different things. But earlier, Purush. So man means heavy chest, body, muscles, sturdy look, and mooch. सुना होगा ना आपने अमिताभ बच्चन, मूछे हो तो नथुलाल की जैसी. और एक कौन सी मूवी थी, गोलमाल, मूछे यानी कि मर्दानगी. हाउ इट इज कनेक्टेड, mustache and manliness, how it is connected. But these were connected at that time. So now they are simply saying that every man has a feminine part, then animus, every female has a masculine part, and we should break this thing. We should introduce this break in literature. So let's not study man as a complete man and a woman as a complete man, which is historical. So they say when you read it, you'll find out that man and woman, their identities were stereotypes. But now, what we need to understand is that we should not go for stereotypes. In feminist reference, I taught you feminism. Remember the term androgyny? मैंने आपको androgyny term पढ़ाया था. So they are talking about this identity कि शक्तिमान है तो शक्तिमान है, और लड़की है तो रोएगी, इमोशनल होगी, दिल से सोचेगी. These kind of mistakes. So anima's concept talks about the stereotype of male and female. Then comes archetype. Archetype, once again, we are going to talk about same thing. Reoccurring image, character, narrative, theme, other literary phenomena that has been in literature, in references. बार बार वो चीज आना. I want to ask you one thing. Suppose you are falling from a building. आप building से गिर रहे हो. You are falling from a building and Superman is flying by. आपके बगल से सुपरमैन उड़ के जा रहा है, कैसा लगेगा? You are falling from building. You're like, oh, I'm gone. Superman is flying by. What will happen? बताओ in the comments. बताओ in the comments. बताओ शाबाश, क्या होगा? What will happen if you're falling? Superman is flying by. Superman is going to save you, ignore you. सुपरमैन आपको बचाएगा या इग्नोर कर देगा? सुपरमैन आपको बचाएगा या इग्नोर करेगा? बताओ. सुपरमैन बचा लेगा. I expect Superman to save me. Yes, because you have given Superman that image. You have given him typical reoccurring image, a character that okay, Superman बचाएगा. Shaktiman, good man. Why? Because we expect a successful person to be good. We expect a teacher to be morally good. We expect people to be honest. क्योंकि हम impose कर रहे हैं. Superman. IIT में एक प्रोफेसर साहब थे, बुजुर्ग प्रोफेसर साहब. तो हम लोग गए थे वहां पे. राम जेठमलानी was invited in IIT to deliver a speech. Do you believe this thing that some professors boycotted it? They said, we will not join Ram Jeethmalani, his speech in the convocation of IIT. Why he was invited? Ram Jeethmalani is a great man. They said he is not a great man. He is a great lawyer. But being a great human are two different things. Ravan was a great knowledgeable person, great powerful person, but was not a good man. So these are not my words. These are the words of those IIT professors. They said that Ram Jeethmalani defends all the powerful corrupt people just because he is a damn good lawyer. He should not be called in the IITs to tell the students that make money by any means. अच्छा इंसान होना और सक्सेसफुल होना अलग चीज है. लादेन, ओसामा बिन लादेन सक्सेसफुल था. अमेरिका पीछे पड़ रहा है यार, पूरा अमेरिका. complete USA and the world is after one man. So yes, he had a legendary, but was he a good man? No. So being a legendary person and being a good man are two different things. Point is this, that our hero concept, ideal woman concept, ideal image concept, these are archetype images. What do you mean by this word? When I bring this word in front of you, what exactly do you mean by this word? What do you mean by this word? भारतीय नारी. बताओ क्या वर्ड है इसका, क्या मतलब है इसका? What do you mean by this word? भारतीय नारी. What do you mean by this one? What do you mean by this one? The moment you say Bharatiya Nari, do you imagine Urfi Javed? Or you imagine any... Do you imagine those models who are copying Western lifestyle, Western dressing sense and all? Or you come with... Or you come with the image of an ideal ethnic dress, a cultured woman, sophisticated woman who is not a rebel, who loves her family members. If she is married, her husband is her God, and she is the one who will sacrifice her life for her in-laws, her husband, her kids. What do you mean by this, Bharatiya Nari? Technically, the image of Bharatiya Nari has been created. Nobody is 100% Bharatiya Nari. So what we do, we give them an image, be like Bharatiya Nari. Who is Mother India? The idea of Mother India came from the movie Mother India, where mother kills her own son to save a girl. So Mother India is not an ordinary mother. Only Indian mothers are Mother India. These are hypothetical concepts created on archetype mythologies, archetype myth. Rain connected to love and romance. Spring, the weather of spring, Basant ka mausam, connected to love and romance. In English literature, winter is connected to separation, pain, death, harsh. And summer in English literature is good. April is the month of showers. Remember Geoffrey Chaucer Canterbury Tales opening line? Because summer is good for them. It's beautiful for them. Wasteland में T.S. Eliot कहता है April is the cruelest month, because he says the most beautiful month is dead now. But T.S. Eliot in Wasteland is not talking about global warming. He's talking about the hollowness of human nature. So this is the idea of archetypes. ये आपके archetypes का idea है. इसमें आप एक चीज और देख लेना कॉन्सेप्ट में. एक चीज आप अपने फ्रेंड से पूछो. Can you talk to your friend? It's been long. I didn't meet you since many nights. क्या अपने दोस्तों से आप बातचीत में बोल सकते हो कि यार बहुत रातों से नहीं मिला हूं तुझसे? ऐसा बोल सकते हो? Can you say? How do you say? Hi, how are you? यार बहुत दिन हो गए मिले हुए भाई. क्या हाल है? कैसे है? कहाँ पे हो? कहाँ रहते हो? बहुत दिन हो गए मिले हुए. And suppose you are in public gathering, you meet your friend. Hello. अरे बहुत रातें हो गई मिले हुए. बताओ. Can you? See, this is how I teach. Feel लेके पढ़ाओ. Tough topic हो तो भी easily पढ़ाओ. बताओ. Tell me. Yes, you can't use the day word, the night word. ये नहीं बोल सकते. मैं मेरे घर पे बोलता हूँ ना that I'm going घूमने. My father says don't go outside after 8 p.m. I tell my father, Papa, this is Delhi. I'm living in South Delhi. It's safe. Papa says only good people are the one who stay in the night, in the house during night time. All the bad people are outside. रात को नहीं घूमने देते पापा मेरे. The most troubling thing was during Corona. Because in Delhi, we are habitual of sleeping by 12, 30, 1. So in back home in my village, everybody would sleep by 8:30. Now what I do, so I'm just watching TV, using Instagram. My father would come at 10 p.m. sleep. पापा टीवी बंद कर दूं, इंस्टाग्राम कर दूं, क्या करूं? And we are in the age that if you just lie down, all the things come in your brain, all your tensions, all your other things. So you can understand. Now see, collective unconscious, we have talked about this thing. We have talked about collective unconscious. Now comes aparichit. There are two concepts, shadow, and another concept is called persona. Shadow concept and persona. Shadow is something that we hide from the world. Our mindset, our mind is divided in id, ego, super ego, or you can simply say conscious, subconscious, unconscious mind. We are conscious about our personalities. How? First of all, you also have multiple personalities. I also have multiple personalities. But in some situations, it becomes multiple personality disorder. And then the Bollywood, South Indian movies and all, they make it very serious. Aparichit. How many of you watched it? कितने लोगों ने अपरिचित देखी है? How many of you was अपरिचित? देखी है? You know what? We also have multiple personalities. We have multiple personalities. One personality is dark personality, sometimes hidden or deliberately, जानबूझ के छुपाई हुई और unconsciously. ये छुपी हुई होती है या वो होती है? Let's make it clear again so that you can watch and read. Darker personality, sometimes hidden, deliberately, मतलब by choice, unconsciously you don't know. These are the elements of person psyche. वो mindset जो छुपा के रखते हम दुनिया को बताते नहीं है. That is a personality which is hidden. Yes, which is hidden. For example, if you are in society, you will have to behave because you are being watched, you are being observed, you understand how to live in a social structure, you will behave. So how will you behave? By controlling your first desire. Your first desire can be wild desire, vague desire, odd desire, swift desire. पहला thought, तुम गए हो 15 अगस्त, you become professor. Let's see, you became professor. You are attending 26th Jan function and you are hungry. You don't want to give a speech. You don't want to see those school kids dancing. All you want is laddu. All you want to eat. You are the chief guest as a professor. Can you just go on mic and tell, see, I'm hungry. Okay, this 26th January is the regular day celebration. All I want is food. Can you say that? No. You will say, India is a great country and I'm honored to talk about this. You are behaving by hiding real personality. Your real personality is hidden. So the real personality is called shadow side. So we have one side which is shadow side. हमारा एक side जो होता है, one personality we have is, that is called shadow personality. आजा भाई, कहाँ है? So one personality we have is shadow. Personality 2, जो हमारी normal personality जो हम बाहर दिखाते हैं, that is called persona. Persona, what we show to the world. Another personality is persona. What I show, what you show. I am teaching you. I am a teacher. I am supposed to talk like a teacher. So this is my persona. Shadow, it is hidden, secret, darker. You have your personality. In simple language, your one personality is shadow that you want to keep in control, hidden. For example, when you are angry, जब लड़ाई हो जाती है, झगड़ा हो जाता है. So what is the common line people use? When you get angry over something or somebody has troubled you and you are getting angry, What is the common line normally people use? तू मुझे जानता नहीं है. क्या कहते हैं? You don't know me. तू मुझे जानता नहीं. तुम मुझे जानते नहीं हो. It means you're talking about this personality. They don't know that they are messing with you and it can be dangerous. It means you accept your first personality. आ रहा है समझ में? You getting it? You're getting your first personality. You are conscious about your first personality. तुम्हें पता है तुम अपरिचित में वो अबे हरामजादे वो बन सकते हो. Right? In अपरिचित. Remember that Aniyan Tamil students? Point is you are conscious about that hidden personality. I am a teacher. Somebody is troubling me. I am teaching. Somebody is throwing stones. 1, 2, 10. I know that I can get angry to a level. So I'll say, listen, you don't know me, okay? Listen, you don't know me. बोलते हो ना अगर मैं अपनी पे आ गया तो सलमान खान का डायलॉग है ना बिग बॉस पे. Why in Big Boss Salman Khan says मैं आ जाऊं अपनी पे? What is that अपनी? He wants to say should I show my real side? He also knows he has a real side. So first personality shadow. Second personality for society. For society. You are in the party. Somebody is teasing you. You have slapped that person in your mind. But then you're smiling. ऐसा होता है ना? Third personality. Shadow, persona, and then ideal personality. We all want to be like someone or something. That is our third personality. The constant idea of perfection. हमें कुछ और बनना है. The third kind of imaginary personality. Why do we want to be fit? We all want six pack. मैं भी चाहता हूं, but gym नहीं जाया जाता. I pay the fees, पर नहीं जाया जाता है. तो आप भी हैं. All the boys, girls, you want to be the best version of you, right? Keep agreeing, huh? Comments में agree करना. You want to be the best version of yourself. Like I should be sharper, smarter, confident, well dressed, well groomed. मेरी तरह नहीं झल्ली सी टी शर्ट डाल के आना है कि अरे सर लाइव पढ़ाने जा रहे हो कम से कम मुंह तो धो के आओ. जरूरत नहीं है. नॉलेज होना चाहिए. बट चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए? चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए? If I see a Hollywood hero who is a teacher in the university and a smart personality, sometimes I also feel कि यार ऐसे जाना चाहिए. This is called personality. The ideal shelf. You have that ideal. Boys, muscles, six pack. Feel आता होगा ना? You become assistant professor, go to the university, ऐसे गॉगल उतारा. मेरा तो गार्ड मुझे दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में रोक देता था. So there was a guard and he used to ask me, रुक, stop. I used to say, अरे uncle, assistant professor, Delhi University, let me go. Then later I got my card. So I used to hang it in my neck. पट्टा दिखाने के लिए इधर okay, fine. See, these are different personalities. इसको और बाद में पढ़ाऊंगा अच्छे से. Now, let's move towards. In next lecture, I'll talk about this thing. So those who are watching it first time, subscribe it. Because today's target is to go for Marxism. अब Marxism पे चलना है, we have to go for Marxism. So let's go for Marxism first. Yes, here we have the Marxism. Okay, quite clear, quite visible. So let's talk about Marxism. Let me just check the time also because we have a session by 6. कहीं पढ़ाने में इतना भी ना खो जाऊं मैं कि भूल ही जाऊं. चलो 3:50 हुए, we have time. One lecture went for 50 minutes. Let's go for another one. Marxism. First of all, ये जितने भी Marxist concepts हैं, they are not directly connected to literature, but it is connected to culture studies reference. Society की दो दीवारें. गाना सुना है? दौलत की दीवार न तोड़ी, प्यार भरा दिल तोड़ दिया. According to Karl Marx, the legend who is going to talk about all these things. According to Karl Marx, there is no gender issue. There is no gender issue. No. There is no caste, religion, black, white. What are the other issues? Tell me. What are the other issues of society? Racism, black, white, brown. What are the biggest issues? Male versus female, feminism. What are the other issues? Caste, religion, culture, language. Marx says no. These issues are secondary. They do not exist. The only thing that matters in a social structure is just one thing. वो कहता है सोसाइटी में सिर्फ एक ही चीज एग्जिस्ट करती है and that only thing is have one, have not one. In simple English, you can write it like this: rich, poor. The world is divided in between rich and poor. The only gap, the only difference, the only distinction we have is rich and poor. The one who have it, the one who have it. जिसके पास है, the one who don't have it. जिसके पास नहीं है. Now, you'll understand it. Don't worry, it's very easy. बहुत आसान है. What is the concept of black and white? Who is superior? Tell me this. Yes, it is a political social ideology. बहुत बढ़िया. Cultural ideology. Who is superior in black and white? Who is superior? बताओ, black superior है कि white superior है? Yes, बहुत बढ़िया आंसर है. Neither black nor white, it's money. गाना सुना है? ना बाप बड़ा ना भैया. The whole thing is that के सबसे बड़ा रुपया. Yes. What if there is a black guy with billions of dollars? Do you think Will Smith, the black hero, Hollywood hero, has only black servants, black girlfriends? All the white people are his slaves. Money. Casteism. If you get a chance to eat with Elon Musk, are you going to question his caste? Or President Draupadi Murmu, where people, they say, no, she's a Dalit Rashtrapati, Dalit president. So there are so many people, they don't want to touch the Dalits. Untouchability, right? This is again a reality in India. There are actually some people exist, and that's bullshit. These kind of people should not exist. But if these people are there, no, we don't touch Dalits. Ask those persons that you're getting a chance to have a handshake with President of India. मना करेंगे? क्या मना करेंगे? Do you really think वो President of India को मना करेंगे? नहीं. They'll go and shake hand. Doesn't matter. It means casteism नहीं matter करता. What matters? Power, influence, money, have ones. It's not only money. It means everything. Power structure. Then male and female. Female are always crushed, female are always tortured, female have always been defeated. No. Do you really think? What about the $1 billion owners, female? Do you really think Mayawati is victim just because she's a female? She's the head of one of the biggest party, Sonia Gandhi, head of one of the biggest party. All the female so highly rich hain. Let's take the reference of Neeta Ambani. Do you really think being a female, she is tortured, her rights have been captured? Neeta Ambani. Why Virginia Woolf said to be a writer anywhere in the world, all a woman needs is a handful of money and a room of one's own. In short, it is just money, money, money. So first of all, आपको Karl Marx समझाना था मेरे स्टाइल में, मैंने समझा दिया. So when you read the society, on the basis of the power structure, the dominating structure, the weaker structure, the dominated structure, the have ones and have nots, you are actually studying the Marxist understanding of society. It is a sociological, political ideology. Yes. कभी सोचा है गरीबों का नेता गरीब नहीं होता? Imagine this thing. Have you ever imagined this thing? The leader of the poor people is never the poor one. One of my best movie that I have done the Marxist analysis is Diwar. ओल्ड मूवी, वो 1970s के टाइमिंग वाली, अमिताभ बच्चन, दीवार. Remember दीवार, one of the most famous and classic movie. Amitabh, then his brother Sashi, right? One criminal, one police. You say, अरे सर एग्जाम टाइम आ गया, what are you doing? Why are you teaching Bollywood movies? Sir, एग्जाम आ गया है. If you want a dead study, dead understanding, it means you're just mugging up. If you understand it, you'll be able to explain it. If you understand it, you'll be able to answer assertion, reason, questions. अगर आप समझ रहे होगे तो assertion, reason, questions answer करोगे. See the simple point. This boy Amitabh, when he gets a chance to join criminal world, he is given a chance. They both have poor life. They are brothers. Poor life, brothers. Amitabh Bachchan gets a chance to join the crime world. He goes to a window and looks outside. The villain says, another one, क्या देख रहे हो बाहर? What are you looking outside? Amitabh Bachchan says, देख रहा हूं एक माँ, एक बेटा, लाचार, भूखा प्यासा, बिना चप्पल के. He says, I can see a poor woman, struggling woman, a kid, hungry. And then he says, I will work. He justifies it. From Marxist point of view, this is justified. He simply says that I want to be a criminal because we have struggled. बहुत struggle किया हमने. Justified है. Marxist reference है. ये building में अपनी माँ को gift करूँगा. Complete Marxist hero है वो. That's why he became the hero of masses. Because all the poor struggling people related with him. He became a criminal because there was no other way of surviving. This is what Charles Darwin said. Charles Darwin said that it is survival of the fittest. Remember the theory by Charles Darwin. Survival of the Fittest, 1859, Origin of Species, name of the book. Origin of Species, 1859, question UGC net exam. Survival of the Fittest. So he knows I have to be the fit. एक बहुत खूबसूरत scene है. So he has become a criminal, he has become a policeman. They say, let's meet once again in the area we used to be poor. Shashi reaches first. Amitabh comes late. Amitabh comes late and says, मुझे आने में देर तो नहीं हो गई. Shashi says, कार से आने वाले अक्सर देर से आते हैं. कार से आने वाले अक्सर देर से आते हैं. What logic is that? कार से आने वाले अक्सर देर से आते हैं. Because the rich people do not value the time of poor people. I read like this. यहाँ से ऐसे पढ़ता हूँ मैं. So, okay, so it is not just a movie. Bollywood and postmodernism. This is how I read it. This is how I study. One of my another purchase recently खरीदी है मैंने. As I told you, I'm studying philosophies. So it is by Bertrand Russell. This is my new purchase, philosophies. Indian books भी आ गई हैं. Indian philosophy मैं दिखा देता हूँ आपको. Many of you were asking me that sir, those Indian philosophy books. Indian philosophies. मुझे पढ़ना है. What is Advaitwad? What is Shunyavad? I'm planning to go to Italy. So if I go to Italy, there is a session where we're going to talk about Vedic culture of India. So I may have an interaction with some foreigners. So I want to be fully prepared. India की इज्जत का सवाल है. पढ़ के जाना अच्छे से. चलो, get back. अब देखो, let's go for the terminologies. So now you understood the concept. अब देखो. A sociological approach to literature that viewed works of literature or art as the products of historical forces that can. अब ये historical forces that can में देखो, ये कह रहा है literature और art से वो result है historical ताकतों का, historical forces का. अब देखो कैसे. That can be analyzed by looking at the metal conditions in which they were formed. सोसाइटी जो फॉर्म होती है, सोसाइटी के रूल्स रेगुलेशंस फॉर्म होते हैं, वो सब और सिर्फ मेटलिस्टिक कंडीशंस पे ही फॉर्म्ड होते हैं. मार्क्सिस्ट आइडियोलॉजी के अकॉर्डिंग, जिसे हम वर्ल्ड व्यू कहते हैं, दुनियादारी, दुनिया की समझ, सच एज द विक्टोरियन एज, is actually the articulation of the dominant class. जिसे आप दुनियादारी का सच कहते हो, वो एक्चुअली अमीरों का बनाया हुआ सच होता है. ध्यान से देख लो, बहुत काम की बात बोली इसने. सोसाइटी को मेटलिस्टिक कंडीशन से स्टडी किया जाता है. उसके बाद इन मार्क्सिस्ट आइडियोलॉजी व्हाट वी ऑफन क्लासिफाई एज वर्ल्ड व्यू. वर्ल्ड व्यू मींस ट्रूथ, morality, religion, is actually articulation of the dominant class. जो dominant class बोलता है वही articulation होता है, वही world view होता है, दुनियादारी होती है. हिंदी में मैंने मार्क्सिज्म बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ा हुआ है. गरीब की बीवी सबकी भाभी, अमीर का जवाई सबका जीजा. मतलब क्या हुआ? Tell me. How many of you understood this idea? बताओ. गरीब की बीवी सबकी भाभी और अमीर का जवाई पूरे गांव का जीजा. बताओ कैसे? गांव में देखा है सरपंच का दामाद आया पूरे गांव का जीजा है. कभी किसी गरीब आदमी को देखा कि गरीब आदमी का दामाद पूरा गांव इज्जत करता फिर रहा हो? भाभी से सब मजाक करते हैं, कमेंट पास करते हैं क्योंकि गरीब है. गरीब की बीवी सबकी भाभी. ये रियलिटी ऑफ लाइफ है. नाउ सी दिस थिंग. एक चीज बताओ, किसने बनाया होगा मोरालिटी? किसने बनाई होगी मोरालिटी? ऐसे लिखना, चोरी करना पाप है. चोरी करना पाप है. किसने बनाया होगा? Who made the law that stealing something, plundering something, या thief, being a thief, it's crime, it's criminal, it's wrong? Tell me. Who made the moral law or the legal law that stealing is a theft? The one who have something or the one who had nothing? ये कानून किसने बनाया कि चोरी करना पाप है? जिसके पास कुछ नहीं था, the one who had nothing, और the one who had something. अमीर ने बनाया. कभी कोई गरीब बोलेगा? एक गरीब आदमी जिसके पास कुछ भी नहीं है, the one who don't have it, the one who doesn't have it, he will never say. He will say equality, food, equal chance, equal opportunity. But the rich started collecting things. Then he had a storehouse of all the valuables. So he thought how to control society. So Louis Althusser's ISA, ideological state apparatus, he brought the moralities. No, चोरी करना पाप है. If you steal things, you'll go to hell. किसने कहा चोरी करना पाप है? अमीर ने कि गरीब ने? वर्ल्ड व्यू इज जस्ट द आर्टिकुलेशन ऑफ द डोमिनेंट क्लास. डोमिनेंट क्लास ने बोला पराई स्त्री पे नजर मत डालो, पराई स्त्री पे नजर डालना पाप है. किसने बोला? द वन हु वाज सिंगल और द वन हु हैड अ ब्यूटीफुल वाइफ. कौन बोलेगा? द वन हु हैड अ ब्यूटीफुल वाइफ और द वन हु इज सिंगल. जिसकी शादी नहीं हो रही वो बोलेगा, या जिसको लगता है कि यार मेरी बीवी बहुत सुंदर है तो वो बोलेगा? हु विल से दिस? Yes, you're getting my concept. Yes, the society is controlled by the rich people who are the dominant class, or the materialistic conditions speak for that thing. That is Marxism. सब अमीरों ने बनाया है. Why the white color is supreme color? Because all the whites are rich. All the white Europeans are leading the world. The day Africans find something that makes them the world power, being black will be considered as a good thing. समझे? तो ये सब ताकत का है. Upper caste is not the weak caste. They were always powerful caste. So they called themselves we are upper caste. खुद को upper caste किसने बोला? The weak one or the powerful one? अपने आप को ऊंची जाति नीची जाति में किसने बांधा? The weak said that we are upper caste or the powerful said that we are upper caste? The power structure. So this is how the society has been formed. This is what Marxism says. As time is less, so obviously I'll not be able to define a lot of other things. But please remember, Karl Marx, famous work, Das Kapital, 1867. Then in collaboration with Friedrich Engel, he has written the Communist Manifesto in 1847. Okay. Then Terry Eagleton, another Marxist important writer. Frederick Jameson, The Idea of Late Capitalism, that I will teach you in Postmoderns. Raymond Williams, Cultural Materialism. Louis Althusser, I have taught these both writers. Culture study में इसको पढ़ाया है. Louis Althusser, I have taught you when we're talking about interpolation, ISA, RSA concept. ISA, RSA concepts have been asked in exam. Then Antonin Gramsci. Walter Benjamin, his name is important, his book is important. Friedrich Engel, Communist Manifesto, it's important. Then Theodor Adorno, for cultural industry, this person is important. Rest you can ignore. For postmodern studies, Giles Deleuze and Felix Guattari, इनके books के नाम याद कर सकते हो. This man can be ignored. इसको छोड़ा जा सकता है. Now let's go for the terminologies. Those who have not done it, don't worry. I'll cover this, and this. Maybe in my second lecture, because अभी जो next है वो तो psychoanalysis पे होगा. Psychoanalysis के बाद we'll go for these writers. So we'll finish these writers. Now, the next one, commodification. Note it down. इसको सबसे पहले note करो. ये बहुत important term. It's a very important term. Commodification. It's a very important term. A lot of people you must have seen, they buy the things not because they need it. They just buy the things. The attitude of valuing things not for their utility, but for their power to impress or for their power to resale possibilities. This is called commodification. In Hindi, it is called vastuvad. ऐसी चीजों को खरीद लेना जो कि जरूरी नहीं है. You don't want it, but still you buy it because it has power to impress or it has resale possibilities. All the people who have iPhones, have you ever wondered about this thing, that why people want to buy iPhones? iPhones से क्या होता है बताओ? What is iPhone concept? Why people are after iPhones? Simple, quite simple. iPhones have power to impress. Then Mercedes, BMW. A normal good car is available in 7 to 8 lakhs. Or chalo, let's say 13 to 14 lakhs, maybe for a big family. But then why to go for 90 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crore? And there are people who are actually filthy rich. I've seen in my society, father has a different Mercedes, son has different Mercedes, somebody has different small car. That is a 40 lakhs rupee. Small car. I'm missing the name. Chota sa naam bhul gaya uska. Small car, 40 lakhs. That's commodification. Now, this is called vastuvad, brand consciousness. That's a simple reference. Being brand conscious. I met a student, he was preparing for UPSC exam. He had all the Parker pen. So I said, you're preparing for UPSC, why are you buying all the original Parker pen? He said, sir, my father is a big man, so he keeps on gifting me. Every second, third month, he buys a Parker pen. An original Parker pen will cost you 15,000 plus. 15,000 के ऊपर आएगा Parker का पेन. हम रेनॉल्ड्स वाले हैं, नीले ढक्कन वाले. And personally, मुझे तो simple pen जितने चले उतना अच्छा. I don't feel comfortable with luxury pen. सही नहीं लिखा जाता. For me, those small pens are fine. Now see the next one. Conspicuous consumption. Conspicuous consumption. See, again, it's an important theory. The obvious acquisition of things only for their sign value or exchange value. कोई चीज 100% खरीद लेना, कंट्रोल में ले लेना for their sign value or so that you have the obvious acquisition. For example, one of my repeated example is Vijay Mallya. You know this man Vijay Mallya? His full name is Vijay Mal Le Gaya. The name coined by SBI. So his full name is Vijay Mal Le Gaya. 9,000 crore. You and me are paying that tax. Government is making us pay that. And he's enjoying his life. So this man, Vijay Mallya or Vijay Mal Le Gaya, not all the Vijay are Amitabh Bachchan. Some Vijayas are Vijay Mal Le Gaya. This man has the obvious acquisition of Tipu Sultan's sword, the sword of Tipu Sultan. इस बंदे के पास तलवार है, the sword of Tipu Sultan. टीपू सुल्तान की तलवार है, something which was purchased in 600 crores. Why this man is having that sword? तलवार टीपू सुल्तान की. Early morning he is doing practice. Is he doing practice? Or he has the obvious acquisition and things for their sign value or exchange value. Just like a South African businessman, that man has bought the specs of Mahatma Gandhi. Then something like this, some people have got that, they have got that. That's conspicuous consumption, that speaks money power. Then dialectical materialism. Dialectical materialism is simple. Your language and your materialism, they are connected. The theory that history develops neither in a random fashion or a linear one, but it is just a struggle between. यहाँ पे एक लाइन शायद मिस हो गई है, दैट्स यहाँ पे आएगा struggle between two different classes. तो अलग अलग क्लासेस के बीच में स्ट्रगल होगा. सो व्हाट हैपेंस, और इसका एक सिंथेसिस बनता है इन टू साइड्स. फॉर एग्जांपल द क्लास कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. हाँ, ये जो मैंने लिखा है टू क्लासेस. क्लास कॉन्फ्लिक्ट लीड टू द न्यू सोशल सिस्टम. व्हेन टू क्लास सिस्टम्स दे क्लैश, a new class system is born. When two cultures clash, a new culture is born. How the language becomes the part of that cultural thing. How the language defines the materialistic conditions. How the dialect talks about the materialistic conditions. Let's take the examples. Let's take the examples in an easy way. Rich class, poor class. They had fight. Fight means cultural fight, social fight. Rich is trying to be richer, poor wants to be rich, rich wants poor to be poor so that they are rich. Rich and poor regular clash resulted in middle class, which means it resulted in the next side. The class conflict led to the new social system. So the rich and poor resulted in middle class. Now rich and middle, they have issues. New system, upper middle class. Middle and poor again clash. Lower middle class. This is how the society is divided in various classes. Okay, extremely rich, super rich, rich, doing well, upper middle class, lower middle class, normal class, poor, very poor, BPL, और उसके नीचे मेरे जैसे लोग. ठीक है. How the language is controlled by the rich class. That's called phallogocentrism. इसे phallogocentrism बोला जाता है. How the language is controlled by the rich class. Have you ever heard an abuse using the rich name? कभी कोई गाली सुनी है अमीर आदमी के लिए? साला अमीर आदमी. People will feel good. If you abuse your friend, you third class. What is third class? The moment you say third class, it means you have the idea of first class. So when you say third class, people feel bad. Use first class. I know, what a first class आदमी. Good. Second class, not bad. Third class. कभी किसी को बोला है अबे ओए अमीर आदमी बोला किसी को? हम तो अबे गरीब, फुटपाथी, भिखारी. Rich words. Phallogocentrism is simply the words which are coined by the rich people, the dominant class, the language developed by the dominant class. The word gentleman. Have you ever seen the gentleman word for a rickshaw puller? Gentleman. कभी सुना है आपने किसी के लिए? संभ्रांत परिवार, रिच परिवार, धनाढ्य, धनपति. Word dhan, dhanpati, lakpati, karorpati. Why there is no word hazarpati? Why there is no word sekadapati? Why there is no word khulla, chillarpati? Because the rich started talking about themselves. That okay, you are lakpati, I am karorpati. This is arapati. But in that communication circle, the hazarpati, the sekadapati, the chillarpati, the udharpati was kicked out. That's what I want to say. Then comes materialistic circumstances. The economic condition of any society, underlying the society. किसी भी society का economic condition जो है उसे materialistic circumstances कहते हैं. The economic condition of any society is called materialistic circumstances. Now let's understand it. That materialistic condition helps us to understand social events. One must have a grasp of the materialistic circumstances and then historical situation in which they occur. अगर किसी society को समझना है, if you want to understand a society, one must have a grasp of material circumstances. आपको materialistic circumstances यानी कि infrastructure, building, economic structure जो भी पहले पढ़ाया आपके पास होना चाहिए प्लस हिस्टोरिकल सिचुएशन. आपको हिस्टोरिकल अंडरस्टैंडिंग होनी चाहिए. टू अंडरस्टैंड अ सोशल स्ट्रक्चर, इफ यू नो द पावर स्ट्रक्चर, historical structure, you will be able to understand. For example, how do you understand that I have entered in a rich society? Suppose you are going. How do you understand that you have entered in a rich society? The bigger buildings, beautiful buildings, neat and clean, gardens, parkings and all, that is materialistic circumstances, right? But so that doesn't mean that, okay, if the villagers have no big buildings, villagers have no big cars, so they are not rich. You have to understand historical condition also. Historical conditions. If you meet a lot of villagers, they have lands, big lands, a lot of area. They are also billionaires. So sometimes you have to understand the historical conditions. Sometimes you have to understand the materialistic conditions to understand a society. Then comes reflectionism. Reflectionism is also called vulgar Marxism, a theory that superstructure of a society mirrors its economic base, and by extension that a text reflects a society that produced it. See, इसको समझने के लिए हमें समझना पड़ेगा base and superstructure. In simple theory, reflectionism ये कह रहा है, why it's called vulgar Marxism? Superstructure of a society. What is superstructure? Superstructure क्या होता है? Infrastructure, buildings, facilities of a society mirrors its economic base. Yes, दिल्ली में superstructure है malls, metros, international schools, international hospitals, better services of communication, and then commutations, then education, medical science, lifestyle, superstructure, all good things. So it speaks for the economic base. So yes, in Delhi, if you are earning 50,000 per month, then you are living a lower middle class life. दिल्ली में 50,000 बहुत कम होता है, बहुत कम. So ये क्या है? सुपरस्ट्रक्चर बताता है कि यहाँ पे इकोनॉमिक बेस है. आई हैव सीन पीपल 10-10 लाख की शॉपिंग कर रखी है, 10 लाख की, और खरीदा क्या है? स्मॉल बैग. कौन सा बैग है? लुई विटान. मैं तो देखो, आई कम फ्रॉम लोअर मिडिल क्लास, सो लुई विटान. People are buying that. Buildings speak for the social structure. Point is, looking at the superstructure, you are making the understanding it is vulgar Marxism. In simple method, if a friend is flaunting iPhone, seeing the iPhone of your friend, you think your friend is rich, it's vulgar Marxism. Seeing the superstructure, oh, this man has an iPhone, this man has a good car, this man is rich, it's vulgar Marxism. हो सकता है वो आईफोन चोरी करने वाला हो सकता है वो चोरी करके लाए. But this happens. But this is just not a theory. You go to auto wala and say, I want to take auto. Show your iPhone in your hand. Rotate your iPhone. Hi, I want to take auto. That person who was going to ask you 50 rupees will speak 80 rupees. Why? You are showing iPhone. If you are wearing your goggles and if you park your car in front of the vendor knows that this person has come from the car. Rate alag rate ho jayega. There will be a different price because they will observe your economic understanding by the superstructure. That's called reflectionism. Then one more theory. Theory of reification. Reification theory means valuing the relationship on the basis of gifts exchanged. Valuing the relationship on the gifts exchanged. कौन से गिफ्ट्स चल रहे हैं? गिफ्ट्स एक्सचेंज. वैल्यूइंग द रिलेशनशिप ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ गिफ्ट्स एक्सचेंज. कौन से गिफ्ट्स आ रहे हैं? नाउ दिस हैपेंस व्हेन यू ग्रो अप. समटाइम्स इट इज नॉट, बट हैव यू सीन आवर मदर्स हाउ दे एक्सचेंज साड़ीज इन फंक्शंस? That relative gave me a sari of only 600. Okay, I will also give that person a sari of 600. Oh, the earring, but the earring is very light. Okay, when their function will come, I will also give the same earring. Valuing relationship on the value of gifts exchanged. My friend gave me a big gift, he's a best friend. Another friend couldn't give me a big gift, bad thing. You know, I come from lower middle class family, I know that. किसी के बर्थडे पे जाना होता ना, we used to feel ashamed because we knew that our gift will be the very small gift. एक बार तो बिस्कुट को ही पैक करके दे दिया था. बहुत बुरा लगता था. गरीबी की लाइफ बहुत बुरी लगती है. अलग लाइफ. We used to avoid because you know other will give you big gifts. You are like there. So you know naturally बड़ी बुरी फीलिंग आती थी. That's reification theory. जो ज़्यादा गिफ्ट दे रहा है रिलेशनशिप में ले लो. बॉयफ्रेंड गर्लफ्रेंड्स गिफ्ट नहीं एक्सचेंज करते. और मेरे को मेरे बॉयफ्रेंड ने आईफोन दिलाया. लड़ाई हो जाती है तो वापस हो जाते हैं, एक्सचेंज हो जाते होंगे, आई एम श्योर. ओके ओके देन दिस वन रिफ्लेक्शनिज्म. वी हैव डन रिफ्लेक्शनिज्म, ये हमने कर लिया ना. हाँ, रिफ्लेक्शनिज्म हमने कर लिया, वल्गर मार्क्सिज्म कर लिया. इसके बाद आता है सुपर स्ट्रक्चर कॉन्सेप्ट. यहां पे एक कॉन्सेप्ट आपको पढ़ाता हूं, दैट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट. व्हाट इज सुपर स्ट्रक्चर, व्हाट इज बेस? Base is always the economic base. It is economic base. Economic structure of a society. Superstructure is based on that economic structure. Superstructure is based on that base. How? Base is economic standard. If your economic standard is not big, अगर आपकी जो average income है, base is called average income of the area. आगे एवरेज इनकम कम है तो बिल्डिंग छोटी होगी, स्कूल छोटे, लाइब्रेरी स्मॉल, हॉस्पिटल स्मॉल. बट इफ योर बेस इज बिग, इफ योर इनकम इज बिग, यू आर अर्निंग 2 lakh पर मंथ, 3 lakh पर मंथ, 10 lakh पर मंथ. मॉल्स, इंटरनेशनल स्कूल, सुपर स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल, एयरपोर्ट्स, मेट्रो. योर बेस डिफाइंस सुपर स्ट्रक्चर. सो वट एवर द बेस यू हैव, सुपर स्ट्रक्चर लाइक दैट. सिंपल. जिसके पास पैसा होता है उसके पास कार होती है, जिसके पास पैसा थोड़ा कम होता है उसके पास बाइक होती है. तो इफ यू जस्ट हैव वन बाइक, people will understand that okay, he's not a rich man because all the rich people have cars. So they'll simply say maybe he's a middle class man or a lower middle class man because bike can be on EMI. If you have a Mercedes, can you just come and say, hello sir, I come from poor family, my father has a Mercedes, it's old, it's been 3 years. एक अमीर बच्चे को बोला गया था कि गरीबी पे निबंध लिखो. Once a rich man was asked to write an essay on the poor people. He said, there is a poor family that lives in my neighborhood. Their bungalow is old. They have 3 old Mercedes cars. Their kids go to the English medium school, but not to the international school. They rarely go to Europe. They mostly travel India. ये वाली गरीबी चाहिए, right? So point is, base defines superstructure. Then with time, superstructure defines base. For example, big school, big library, big hospital facility, big metro, big airport. So this is helping people to get better opportunity. So soon it will become the base and people will become more capable. क्योंकि जो बच्चा यहां पढ़ेगा, दिल्ली के बच्चे तुम्हारे कंपटीशन में, in your competition, the kids, see, when I came to this high society, I was shocked. We were playing volleyball. 11th class students started having debate on Indian economy in pure English, and I was shocked how the 11th class students can have a fluent debate. These kids are from international schools. आपने हिंदी मीडियम मूवी देखी है? हिंदी मीडियम मूवी, उसमें एक स्कूल का नाम आता है वसंत वैली स्कूल, मेरे बगल में है घर के. These kids are from that school. Now imagine you are preparing, these kids are preparing. I was from University of Delhi, still I got shocked that यार 11th class के बच्चे हैं. I was feeling so bad that people from my area, students from my area, even my teachers cannot have this kind of economic debate with these kids. They have superstructure, rich parents, educated parents, private rooms, Wi-Fi facility, laptops, highly qualified teachers, great tuitions, international libraries. And who are they competing? The village students, no fees, no good school, no good college. So these people will definitely grab all the big jobs. सारी बड़ी नौकरी किसको मिलेगी? इनको मिलेगी. So this superstructure becomes base for them. I watched that Hindi medium movie. I just related it. मुझे तो इतनी इमोशनल कर गई थी ना. There's all things related. चलो guys, I'm taking some gap थोड़ा सा. I thought कि मैं तीसरी थ्योरी भी करूंगा, लेकिन बोल के ना वाट लगे long classes. तो I'll go for next session. Stay tuned for next session. And one more thing, whatever the fight we did for our fight and all, we did our duty. We did our efforts. हमने अपने efforts लगाए हैं. So now people who are getting an opportunity to criticize, they are not defeating me. They are trying to put the gun on your shoulders, students, to hit me, but they are actually against you. तो अपना देख के चलो, ठीक है? आपको बहुत सारे ऐसे इंग्लिश टीचर्स पढ़ा रहे हैं जिनका बैकग्राउंड भी नहीं है, वो पढ़ा रहे हैं आपको, तो बेवकूफ मत बनो. क्लासी वेबसाइट के चक्कर में मत पढ़ो, फेल हो जाओगे. They themselves have no JRF. It means उनको नहीं पता JRF कहाँ से होता है. So please, भाषणबाजी में, नेतागिरी में ना पढ़ें, अपने करियर पे ध्यान दें. See you all in next class. If you loved, as I can see a lot of hearts here, I love teaching. I know I have to reform. मुझे भी बहुत सारा philosophy पढ़ना है. I'm going to read. Share your comments with me. And if anybody is trying to demotivate you, just remember, you are not a kid. Nobody can play with your mind. You are strong. You have your own understanding. You have your own logics. Use your logics. Either it's my words or others' words. You use your brain. Bye-bye. See you.